Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to a new episode of Kevysie Fate Podcast. I am your host, Kevin Davis, and as you can see, I have a new look today because I got freshed up for my new guest, Mr. Jeffrey Hayes. How you doing, brother?
Do well by yourself, sir.
Man, I can't complain. I'm tired as usual, but that's part of being a creative, man.
Indeed. I know the feeling well.
It's been a busy month, but it's been a good busy month. Man, I love creating. I just love storytelling, and I have fun doing what I do. Nice to actually finally meet you, man. We've
Indeed.
been friends for a while now
We've been talking
on
for quite some
social
time.
media. So tell us a little bit about yourself, like what you do.
All right. Okay, so the full story. So during the day, my alias is a special education teacher at a junior high school for English. I've been doing that. Well, yeah, I've been a teacher now for this is my 13th year as a teacher. So I've been doing that
Let's
for
go.
yeah, I know. Seriously, I'm older than I look. Hopefully, I'm older than I look. Either that or I just look really old. But I'm older than I look. I like to think so.
My sister's a teacher. Next fall would count as her 10th year as a
Yeah.
teacher.
It's a hell of a thing when you start getting to double digits. You're like, oh crap, it's been, it's been that many years.
Oh yeah.
And then by night, I am a podcaster, comic book writer, and publicist. So I keep quite busy.
Whew, man, man. I do a lot of different things too. I'm a writer. I'm an entrepreneur. Outside of publishing, I create my own clothing too, and like my
Wow,
own my own shoes, and I'm starting to work on my own drink line.
nice.
And I've always been asked like multiple times, like, dude, do you sleep? Or like, how do you do all this stuff in like short amount of time? And like, how do you organize this? And my answer is, I don't organize it as well as I'm
Well,
supposed
let me
to.
asking you a question. When you say you make your clothing line, well, what are you? Now I feel like I'm going to interview you, which I technically will do tomorrow, but I feel like I should do that right now. Uh, what clothes do you make? Like you say, you're making secrets. What else do you make? Like are these custom clothing?
Yeah, so I have clothing that's like for my comics, like characters on shirts and jackets and joggers and stuff. Then outside of my comics, I also have a clothing brand that's standalone. That's like a mental health type of clothing brand where it's the art is telling a message, telling you a message and giving you a message. I mean, that's not much to like next year or so because I'm giving my artist some time to get the designs together. Because turns out the designs I gave her to make is actually more powerful than I thought.
Yeah.
And she's like, as she draws it, she feels it. I was like, holy smokes, what the heck? And so she wants to bring the quality. And so I'm gonna delay this till next year to give you more time with it.
Yeah.
Because she's what's the word, empath, so she feels that type of pressure
Yeah.
about around people. And I was like, I didn't realize that these type of designs were like that powerful at all when I like described them to her. And she's like, I see them, but I also feel them. I was like, holy smokes. So I'm gonna give you some grace because since you put it that way, I'm gonna push this back for a while.
So, are you gonna incorporate this stuff into your campaign? The drinks and the shirts and all that?
And on Halloween, I did make a Halloween like a clown shirt and a hat. That's about it.
Yeah.
Because because I know like not a lot of people do merch, like buy merch and stuff. So I'm like, I'm gonna just throw in like a little bit like a shirt and a hat with the book, just to see if somebody might grab it. You never really know.
Right.
But so I kind of incorporate that to, like some of my campaigns. I'm like just throwing it there. Just to give like somebody might be interested in buying it.
Yeah, like I said, well, on my campaign that eventually I'm sure we'll talk to about, I have a T-shirt that I sold one so far. I'm very proud of myself. It's one T-shirt, the black T-shirt with the cover on it. But now I'm thinking I probably should have gone to you about making the T-shirt.
Well, I'm happy to help if you ever need an extra hand with some. I even make shoe designs too. So I mean, I design my own shoes, and I partner with a manufacturer to print my shoes too. So yeah, I'm always happy to help anybody that wants an extra hand with something.
Yeah,
I'm more than happy to do
I
that.
should talk to you about this off air. So remind me to ask some questions.
Hey, I don't mind at all. You got my contact, so I'm happy to answer them.
Indeed.
So heck yeah. And you just launched a Kickstarter. This is Malik Devil, I believe. My apologies. Malik Rising Raining Devil.
Raining David,
I
correct.
was like, there we go. I was like, my apologies.
No worries, no worries.
Let me bring it up right quick so we can check out this bad boy. It's like 1 second. Okay, there we go. So tell us a little bit about this badass comic, dude, because
Well,
this looks flat out amazing.
it really must have been the art is not gonna be. I actually love what the Juan Amaron's the artist. I love what he's doing right now with it. It looks fantastic. So basically, but we're up to the third issue, so there's a bit of a backstory going to. Not go into every detail because, like I said, I'm not going to fill in on 2.5 issues because there's also a prologue before this series started. But
Okay.
basically, as it goes on, in the prologue, which was an 8-page short story in an anthology magazine,
Ooh,
God
nice.
sends Malik to hell to kill the devil. Malik
I'm intrigued.
is God's wrath on earth, basically the angel of wrath. I believe the pronunciation is the Hamashit, which is an actual term for an angel of wrath. And that's what he is. However, what Malik doesn't realize is that once you step into soiled ground, which would be hell, right? You're no longer able to enter heaven. All right, you're banned from heaven. The other problem that he
Wow.
realizes that the Lucifer lets him know about is if you kill the devil, you become the devil, the new devil of hell. And after Malik finishes the job and kills Lucifer, he realizes now he's facing an eternity in hell. All right. For basically doing what he was told by following the will of his creator, he's now damned for eternity. I'm going to pause for 1 second. Sorry. My wife. All right. My wife is now home and she'll only be a little more annoying when she comes back through again. Anyways,
Hey,
so as Malik realizes that he's now damned forever, he does feel betrayed. He feels kind of cheated out of his existence. And he now wants revenge and his creator. The first 2 issues are him taking over hell or basically consolidating his control over hell. And then the third issue, which is what I'm the main one that I'm launching, is him in purgatory as he seeks a audience with Lucifer, who he actually did kill, and when the angel or demon dies in my story, they go to purgatory. Instead of having a human soul goes to heaven or hell, demons and angels go to purgatory. So he's now trying to find Lucifer to ask him, how do you then get into heaven? As far as, because he must take his army of hell that he's consolidated into heaven and finish the war in heaven. But he doesn't know how. He assumed Lucifer does know. That's why Lucifer was planning a war. So he must know. So that's his goal: is go to purgatory, ask Lucifer, and hope to God. Kind of weird, fun. Hope that Lucifer hates God more than he hates the one who killed him, and that's the kind of the game he's playing right now, or the risk he's taking.
man, what made you want to like go this route in this particular story with God and the devil and like hell and heaven? Like this is very intriguing. I gotta ask, are you a Supernatural fan?
I am. I love Supernatural.
Ah,
I have a huge Supernatural fan.
I had a feeling when I read your campaign, I had like a supernatural sense to it because I'm a huge Supernatural fan myself. So I'm like, are you a Supernatural fan? Because it's just really interesting that you brought it, that you made a story about God and the devil and how you just made it twisty and it's so freaking beautiful.
Well, you see, I'm also a big fan of Spawn. I love Spawn.
I am too. Heck yeah.
I love Dante's Divine Comedy, which is Dante's Inferno, Purgatorio, and Paradiso. I'm a huge fan of that trilogy of
Oh
books
my
as
God,
well.
dude, you're speaking to my soul right now. Oh my God.
And then this might be a deeper dig. See, in the 90s, there was a Image comic book series, a company called Extreme Studios, which was Rob Liefeld, right? Now
Okay.
he created a storyline called Extreme Sacrifice, in which Chapel, who was the killer of Spawn, commits suicide and eventually goes to lead Hell. And the storyline is basically this big thing where all the main characters had to now fight not only Crypt, who is his like Spain soldier, but then Chapel as well, who's now taking over Hell. And that also fueled my idea as well for a character because I love that story. That's See, my whole house is covered in autographs, the comic books and photographs, stuff like that. That's one of the only
Dude.
books I have on the wall that's not autographed, but it has important place on the wall so I can pick it up anytime I want and just stare at the issues because I just love that series so much. So there's a lot of influence from my childhood of kind of this horror, theological kind of fantasy-ish type stories, and I've always
Yeah.
been very fascinated by all that. And even though I'm not a religious individual, I'm fascinated by concept of religion, and I kind of
Yeah.
weave that into
Oh
my
yeah.
stories. And yeah, that's Malik.
Yeah, I was like, I'm with you on not the religious person. I was like, I'm not religious either, but I always consider myself a believer. Because I was always raised as a believer, not a religious person, if that makes sense. And I'm always fascinated hearing people's point of view about stories like this when they're mentioning God, like the devil, like demons and angels. and your perspective is really just caught my eye. That's why I'm like, I'm happily a backer of your story.
Appreciate I
And
appreciate the support.
heck yeah, dude. And plus, I'm a huge horror fanatic. As a horror writer, fantasy writer myself, I had to back this. And this is issue 3, but I got all 3 books. And when I backed it, I was like, I need to watch this. Well, I said watch it like a movie, but I need to read. I need to read this from the beginning. And dude, can you just tell us a little bit, but like what's going on in the? Let me go back up right quick. Well, like what's going on in this page,
So
these
that
2
is
pages right here?
the summary of the prologue comic book, because the prologue has only ever appeared in an anthology. However, my goal is to hopefully we get 20 backers physical and 20 backers digital, because I'm gonna reissue this myself as an 8-page mini comic. But this is the prologue where it kind of gives you the backstory of how issue 1, 2, 3 start. So basically, Malik, to get to hell, you have to commit a sin. And God's order to commit the sin is to kill one of his brother angels. So he blows away one of his brother angels, which damns him to hell, and that's where the story starts taking place with him breaking into Lucifer's citadel to kill Lucifer. With his angel killing gun that he has, that head is the head of Lucifer that he's showing to the followers of Lucifer to basically make a point. Lucifer's dead. I killed him. I am now going to be your devil. Some decide to follow his lead because demons are often followers, but because demons are often like much like cats, don't follow orders. Some of them he's going to have to personally bring to heal himself. And issues 1 and 2 is him going circle to circle, bringing the lords of hell to heal and making sure they follow his rules, so he can then march on to heaven, hopefully sometime in the future.
Oh, look at this beauty right here.
Yeah. So
Oh
basically, what
my.
you have is because God realizes the mistake that he made. In other words, that Malik isn't the puppet he hoped Malik was, because as a servant angel, the idea that he's very much into servitude, that he does what he's told, that he's easy to control, he's a puppet. But Malik has proven, once he had his own control, not to be that puppet. So Gabriel is now making a deal with one of the last standing lords of hell to fight Lucifer. So the angel Gabriel, who's very smug, kind of an ass. You read Gabriel's one of my favorite characters, so right, 'cause he's such a schmuck. Um, he makes a deal with one of the lords of hell and says basically, we'll give you the power of hell, the rule of hell, if you help us take out Malik. So they're looking for another puppet to replace Malik, and hoping that this lord will be willing to do what Malik proved unwilling to, which is be the puppet. This is the council meeting of some of the lords of hell that were remaining,
Okay.
who are talking to Malik, and basically trying to determine if they're going to side with him or not. It turns out that a lot of the lords of hell, a lot of the demons, determined that they don't want to be ruled of another angel. Lucifer was a fallen angel. They ruled, who ruled over them. Why should they take command by from another fallen angel? And they're like, you know what? We're sick of this angel bullshit and being told who we're going to follow, much like Malik. We're now going to be our own rulers, and Malik will then deal with that problem the way Malik deals with our problem, which is to beat the shit out of all of them until they're not around anymore. Because Malik, Malik is very much a hammer. Like you said, he was God's wrath. He was the destroyer on
Yeah.
Earth. And he's not
Yeah.
gonna sit back and just allow a bunch of demons to tell him, "You know what? We're fine without you." He's gonna be like, "Alright, we don't really need you, then do it." And he's gonna beat the living crap out of every single one of them. So that's issue 2, I believe.
Wow. And I know that you're 3 issues deep so far. Do you like have like how many issues you plan with this universe? Like do you have an ending in mind? Like how far ongoing you think you just want to be?
So the whole series is 6 primary issues, and then there's 4 mini comics. Because there's a side story of a character called Enoch, or Anak, however you pronounce it, who's a Nephilim, who is plays a side role in the overall story, not directly, but some of his storyline not only intersects with Malik when Malik is in heaven, but the way that Malik eventually is going to confront some of the characters in heaven is through a weapon that Anak had when he was still alive. So he is a side story, and he's also kind of a representative of what God was like. As a Nephilim, that's a child of both an angel and a human, which is a sin against in God's eyes. That's not allowed. He sends Malak to kill Anak as a baby and his mother and the angel that fathered him. So Malak is
Oh.
sent basically to kill all of them for basically falling in love, which is you're not supposed to do as an angel. So he's gonna kill them
Right,
all
right.
except the baby, who he quietly just leaves alone. When his first points in his life of actually feeling empathy, a decision of his making a decision on his own. That first ever decision, that first spark of agency came from sparing the
Mhm.
baby, which will play dividends later on in through the story. So so it's 3 side issues about 8 pages each, 3 mini comics, 4 count the prologue, and then 6 primary comics, which are, different page lines. This one's 36.
Issue 3 is 36 pages. I'm gonna have a good time reading these books.
Well, the nice thing about owning your own company, your own comics, is that no one can tell me to stop. So I was like, you know what? This is
Yeah.
36 pages because that's how long the story is, and that's how long the goddamn story is. So I'm making it 36. I'm not cutting shit.
Dude, I am the exact same way. That's why I started my company and doing my own stories, man. Um, dude, that's when I started Arcfire. I had like so many freaking drafts of Arcfire in my
Yeah,
head. Like when I was writing it, Arcfire wasn't even Arcfire at first. I don't know what the heck I named it at first. I had something like called I think I had like Mystic Arc or something, but it sounded so freak. I know it sounded so freaking lame, but I started Arcfire. And I was like, "Okay, how" like and then one moment I just sat down one day and just, like, had, like, music in the background, like, music scores in the
yeah.
background on my TV, and I was like, "You know what? Let me take a break for a second. Let me just stop and just breathe." And then I think a movie was probably playing, and I said the word arc. I was like, "No," I said, like, "What arc do I wanna tell?" I was like, "Arc." I mean, arc, okay, like, arc. And then I had like a story idea. I was like, "Oh, that's fire." I was like, "Wait a minute, fi arc fire." So it's like one of the epiphany moments, you know what I mean? I was like, I'm like, but I was like, arc fire. I wrote like different spellings of arc fire. I was like, "Holy smokes, this is actually pretty dope." Not gonna lie. Then I was like, "But I don't want to spell fire with an F-I." I was like, "So what do I like with an F-Y?" Oh shit, I'm on something now.
Those are the
Uh,
moments why you actually do this, right?
Oh man, dude, yes. Oh my God. And as of May of this year, it actually marks my 4 years in comics.
Very cool.
Because I started researching and like studying how to make a comic around 2022, and I started reading comics in 2020 when COVID hit and everything. Because I knew like Marvel and DC, like their movies and TV shows. Like I watched the old school Spider-Man animation, the X-Men animations, and everything. Like literally everything. But this entire time, I never knew they were a whole different medium
Mm,
at all until 2020 hit, and I was like, I mean, I'm an introvert. I'm always in the house anyway, but I don't want to be watching TV all day. Like it runs my brain. I want to stimulate my brain with something. I want to like grow my imagination. I'm like, I have a weird imagination anyway, so I'm like, I want
yeah.
to get my imagination into something. And so I learned about comics. I was like, "Wait, there are different wait, what the hell is comics?" And then I'm a Spawn fan. He's a freaking comic I didn't even know. I'm a Hellboy fan. He's a freaking comic I didn't freaking know. Even Sonic, I'm a huge Sonic fan. He has comics. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles has comics. I was like, why the crap did I not know any about any of this? Like, what? I was like, have I been so deep in the cave that I did not know this existed? Like, are you kidding me right now? And then I found out about independent comics on TikTok, of course. That's when I learned about like Ace Blade and Black Sands Entertainment and IDW, of course, Image, and Boom Studios and like so many other places. I was like, "Holy Jesus Christ." I was like, "Okay, I am about to go on a nerd fetish right now because I did not know anything about this." And I started buying the indie books, and I was like, "Okay." It's like, "How do you make this stuff?" And my brain really started going. I was like, "Hmm." And say, I think I might want to try this. I was like, I might suck at writing, but I want to see what happens.
Right.
And so I did like 2.5 years studying the craft of comics, like learning the budget, learning the business side of things, how to find the artist, how to basically talk as a professional to get in this industry. And there was a time thought about hiring somebody to, like, write my stuff for me, but then again, I was like, I'm not sure if I could explain my brain because my brain goes, like, to different atmospheres, so I was like, I'm not sure they'd be able to translate what I want,
Right, right.
so I was like, I'd rather just do it myself. And plus, I'm really picky, I don't really trust people that much, really, and I don't want I mean, I don't have a voice to yell at people. As you can tell, my voice is naturally low, right?
Yeah,
It's like, but I'm like, and plus I don't like confrontation. I want all of us to have fun. I was like, I'll figure out how to write my stories myself. And then boom, Arcfire was born in 2023. In production came out 2024. Now we have two issues out now. I'm fulfilling that one while my new comic Halloween is going. And dude, and also got to the point, it's like I'm tired of like the Hollywood rehashes of stuff, and I just want creativity. Like, why is that so hard to ask for? It's like, oh, excuse me. Like, I just want simple creativity and some originality. Because I remember, like, as my sister say, I'm an honorary millennial. I just miss just having fun and
yeah,
just relaxing, man. I was like, I remember when I was a kid going to the movies and seeing like Toy Story and like The Incredibles or heck, the earlier Marvel movies and just even the Transformers movies for God's sakes, just having fun, enjoying the art. And I was like, dude, how can I get into like doing art stuff as my career?
mm,
And then now 4 years in, I'm still going, man. I'm still kicking. I'm having my blast. And then outside of publishing, I do clothing, like I mentioned earlier. The funny thing is, my I actually started clothing first before I got into publishing and writing. That's when
yeah,
my entrepreneur journey started was in clothing. And I fell in love with writing, learning that my mother is actually a writer herself. So it turns out it's in my blood. And like reading her murder mystery book
yeah.
that really sparked my interest and fire and wanting to challenge myself. And so I'm like, then from there, I'm a huge science fiction fan, horror, fantasy, drama, pretty much anything that just that interests me, man. You know what I mean? And so, like when you mentioned, it's like that's why it's so having your own confidence because you're not micromanaged by anybody. You just bring your own. Like this is how many pages I'm doing with this freaking story, and you can't stop me.
I mean, that's the
Oh
point though,
man,
right? I mean, there's if you're gonna if you're not gonna write for DC or Marvel, where they're going to pay you a livable sum to do the work, then do it yourself. Don't let one goddamn person say, "Yeah, that's not okay." Be like, "No, no, no, no. It's okay because I said it was okay. I can do anything I
exactly,
want. It's my book. If you don't like
exactly.
it,
And
don't buy it. Beyond that, my book."
it's not my fault.
Right.
I've always made the joke. I was like, my name's Kevin, but I'm not Kevin Feige. I'm actually quality over quantity. That's why I take my time with everything I do. That's why I'm like I'm not in no type of rush to release stuff because I can tell you I have like already like 7 other Kickstarters lined up, but I'm not in a rush to release them because I want to finish the book first. That's the other thing. I want to be able to finish the book first and then launch it so it already like be set and ready. Even well, like with Hall of Fame, that's like a few pages to do for Hall of Fame, but it's legit pretty much about ready. That's why. Wait, I'll talk to you more about Hall of Fame on your show tomorrow. Well, on Friday after this will be posted.
Yes,
Uh, but that's Hall of Fame is one of my hardest stories I've written so far, and also thank you for posting on your Kickstarter about my Hall of Fame story. We'll get to that on your show.
indeed.
Um, but I can't wait. I'm really hoping that people love it when it's fun. And dude, okay, enough me blabbering. Let's get back to Raining Devil
No worries, no
because
worries.
um, and you said this book, all 3 books are completed, and so your funding goal is what 800, I believe.
800. Basically, that's going to cover the penciling. I'm sorry, not the penciling. The letters, the colors, and the printing.
Okay,
Everything else is the penciling, inking is complete on issue 3. All 36
yeah,
are drawn. The cover's drawn. The side cover's drawn. It's just going to be well. The thank you page has to be done. So if anyone who backs it can be on the thank you page. But that's that's honestly when it's done. But anyways, basically coloring. I need 26 pages to color. I need to letter 36 pages. I need to print. Plus, I'm looking to print issues 1 and 2 again because they ran out of issues on those sold out, so I'm reprinting those, and I'm gonna reprint the mini comics. So that's a lot of it's gonna be tied into the printing and finishing up the interior.
Wow, and you're pretty much more than halfway there now, as we can see. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm a backer myself, guys. So I'm actually a man of my word. So you guys should definitely back Malik, not Malik, Malik, Rain Devil, 1, 2, 3, and you actually have a trailer, I believe, right here, right?
yeah, I made it myself.
That's right. Let's watch this bad boy,
Yeah.
bro.
In audio.
Oh, dude, you got me bumping back here. That's sick.
I love the video. I mean, I watch it more than I should have because I mean, at my own vanity, I probably watch way too many, but I think a video kicks ass. I'm like, I objectively wonder how you can watch the video and the campaign and not back it because I think it's just that level of good, and I'm able to, I think, be objective about it. But I think it's just a damn good story, damn good art, damn good video. I don't know. I don't see how it already hit its goal, but you know, it is what it is.
Dude, dude, I think that it would have been even more badass if you had someone that has a deep voice like Tony Todd just making a voiceover or your video. And I
Hmm.
was like, dude, I'm fucking sold. I was like, I was sold on the story and looking at the art and the cover already, but that freaking video just brought me in more. And I was like, guys, whoever's watching this, freaking buy his books. We need to get this funded because I want these books in my hand.
I mean, honestly,
Man,
I did my best to price them in a way that's reasonable. It's $8 for a physical copy of one
yeah,
issue, $3 for the digital for anyone. Because honestly, the economy does suck. I know it sucks. It is what it is.
yeah.
But I want to make sure everyone could afford at least to participate somewhere in this. So for $3, you can get the digital. For 8, buy the issue.
Man.
24 all varied. You got to catch up physical. I think I have it at 20. I mean, I'm doing everything I can to make this affordable and make sure everyone can get their hands on it.
Okay, dude, okay. Look at this freaking cover. This is my favorite cover, by the way. I'm just gonna put that out there. Yes, I have a favorite. Dude, what was you drinking when you made this?
Well, the artist who did the cover is Dennis Valencia he's from Home Group Comics. Team No Sleep is what he also calls himself because he works nonstop. But basically, what you have here is the character in the background is Gluttony, the Lord of Gluttony. from I can't remember what Circle of Hell that is, but it
Shoot, so I guess you're right. I thought that was Gluttony. Oh,
yeah.
not nice.
So
I
Gluttony,
guess you're
so
right.
he has a mouth, and he has a mouth in his stomach. He has mouth his all his hands are mouths, and he has mouths that come out of him. So he's Gluttony, literal. And that's Malik in front of him with his angel killing gun and his angel sword, and he's gonna kick some ass. And yeah, I mean, it's just a badass cover, and Dennis Valencia knocked it out of the ballpark as he always does.
Dude, this oh my god. I can't wait for this freaking book. This needs to get funded like yesterday because dude, I am legit yeah, this is my nerd side coming out, guys. I'm not afraid to show it. I just love seeing these beautiful comics. I was like, I always get excited about indie comics. I do not get this excited about mainstream comics. But I'm like, indie just brings the ball game 1,000% more
Mm.
than the mainstream. And I'm guessing this is hell?
Of Purgatory, it's the
Purgatory.
he
Okay.
wakes up within Purgatory. He's sort of the gatekeeper of Purgatory, basically warning Malik because he's living. Technically, he's a living being. You're not welcome into Purgatory and to back out now before, because the way Purgatory operates is almost like a living entity. It has its own defense mechanism, and anything that's truly alive does not anything that does not belong in Purgatory, it will seek out and destroy. And he's warning him basically, go back now, get out. This is not the place. He's actually a character. Can't remember the name of the character off the top of my head, but he shows up in the Dante's Purgatorio as one of the characters in the beginning of Purgatory. So I borrowed him, stuck him into my story, and he shows up at the beginning. And basically, like I said, he's like the gatekeeper, warning Malik, get the hell out. And Malik basically will say, because as Malik does, he's like a John Wick character, a man of an entity of focus and unrelenting. And he's basically like, I'm here for a reason. I will not be stopped. I will not be slowed. I dare you to send to have Purgatory come after me. I will bring it a whole thing to heel. And he basically is telling him to go screw himself. He's gonna do it anyway. Um,
Sounds
that's
about
Mal.
right.
He said he's kind of like I kind of view him as like if John Wick was combined with Spawn and thrown into Dante's Inferno. That's that's
Now that would be a badass crossover.
indeed.
That is a badass crossover right there.
So, Purgatory, like I said, is the realm of dead angels. He's going to confront all those he's killed as ghosts because Malik has existed for millions of years, basically carrying out throughout the universe God's God's commands to smite people, right? That's all in the Bible.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Malik who
yeah.
does most of that. So in Purgatory, he's now going to have to confront every single sin that he committed, all the deaths that he caused. That's the angel that he killed in the prologue now coming out of the grave to confront him because, like I said, that's the angel right there. This all has dialogue in the actual story, but it's not written yet. I mean, though it's not written. I mean, it's not lettered yet, but it will be lettered. So that's the angel that he kills in that panel right there, and he's now going to come out and seek his revenge on Malik. As you can see, he's missing part of his head because that's what got blown off. So
That makes sense.
that's why he
That
looks the
makes
way he
sense.
does. But like I said, Malik is going to have to confront everything all the sins he committed within not only hell, but what God told him to while in purgatory. That's part of his defense mechanism.
My brother Jeffrey, you is on to something with this story, man. And this is a 6-issue arc.
Yep, 2 in hell, 1 in purgatory, 2 in heaven, and then an epilogue, which kind of wraps up his story and basically closes out Malik's story in the epilogue. So it's 6 issues.
Guys, and it's very much affordable. $8 you get $8 you get the physical copy of issue 3, and you can get an entire digital bundle for 17 bucks,
Yep.
20 PDFs. Jesus, that's amazing. That's a good price.
Yeah.
And then 20 bucks, you can get it for physical catch up. I back that part because I gotta catch up on this sucker. I was like, I don't know how I'm so late, but then again, I dig that like we didn't get into comics until 2020, so it makes sense I'm late. Even some Malik playing
Yeah, I
cards,
created my
dude. You
own
finna,
deck of poker cards with Malik on the face cards
uh,
and, image on the back. I love playing cards. I collect playing cards, playing card decks. So I
my
created one
dude.
for Malik. It's $50. They are nice quality. They're good, thick quality. Unfortunately, only the face cards are Malik. The number cards are just number cards, but the face cards are Malik, and
Got you.
each one of those images is a different suit. I'm trying to remember which suits they are. I'm pretty sure, Lucifer is the spade. Think Michael might be the diamond. Can't remember. Maybe I can't remember the other two were.
Mhm.
But yeah, they're all playing cards. Like I said, and they're nice quality. They're actual real good quality.
And shout out to the creators. First, the man himself, the creator, the god of this universe, Mr. Jeffrey Hayes,
Yeah,
the penciler, inker, Juan Manuel
Amaran.
Amaral.
I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Amaran. I think South American. I can't remember exactly which country, but I think it's Amaran.
Okay, I hate butchering people's names.
Yeah. Oh, I do that all the time. I'm professional at butchering names.
The colorist, Aster or
Aster
Aster?
Design and Illustration. That's what she
Aster
wanted to go
Design.
by, so that's why I put her in.
Okay,
I'm actually not even sure I know what her real name is, but she goes by Aster Design and Illustration. That's kind of how I
fair. That's
refer
fair.
to her. But
That's
she's
fair.
going to be doing the third issue for this one. Letterer Keith Gleason. He's awesome. He does a lot of my letters for my comic books. He's also the promoter of the Plastic City Comic Con, which is the best comic book convention I've ever been to. Not just because I know the guy, but I will say the biggest sale days I've ever had by a huge margin are from his
Uh,
convention. That is just
huh.
hardcore indie, and the people who come to the show go to buy. And that's not always true of
Let
conventions,
me
but they're
add
there,
let
they
me
are
add
spending
that con
money.
to my notes right quick.
Yeah, they're there and they're spending. I mean, it's a one-day convention, and I mean, my I blew away my table costs on that show. I mean, it was amazing. I mean, I was selling T-shirts off the table. I mean, people were coming in and they're 'cause we had, not just, this was End of Alternatives, we had Nightmare Patrol, which was 4 issues, Sanctus, which was a graphic novel, and people are just like, "I'm buying them all." It was a huge I mean, I've never had a show like that. I love his shows.
Dude, that is
So, Plastic City
absolutely
is
beautiful.
one of the best ones. So, No AI, none of the arts AI. Yeah, I got that one from, Lori Casatera, gave me that image to borrow, so I'm stealing it from Lori Casatera.
And speaking of Lori,
These are
we
my
have some
friends
friends with
of campaigns that I'm
campaigns.
following. Pale to Pale Rider. I'm proud of what she's doing with that series. I helped her on the first one, as a promoter.
Heck
She's
yeah,
now
dude.
kind of taken it and gone, but she's doing really well. John Westhoff, that one's already hit his goal, so congratulations to him. And then there's this one that looks familiar, Holofene. I don't know if you know that
Oh,
one,
that
but
looks
it's
totally
there.
familiar. That looks totally familiar. It looks dope. I hope it funds. That looks pretty dope,
I hope
dude.
so too. I'm rooting for it.
Like, man, me too. Man, Malik Reign Devil, guys. Go freaking back his book. The link is in the bio of this video. Man, Mr. Jeffrey Hayes, you are onto something, my brother.
Thank you.
I want these books in my hands like yesterday. So let's get this freaking book funded.
Please do, please do. I'm sweating it a little bit. It's 14 days left. I'm sweating it a little bit.
14 days, guys. Let's freaking get this book.
Yes.
Because I want it on my shelf, whereas a lot of other indie books, I have to get it. I'm more likely to get a new shelf by the time next year gets here, because I'm probably going back a lot of other books too. But before we go, please tell us where we can find you so we can reign devil with you.
All right.
Every pun intended.
I appreciate that. So, as you'll find out tomorrow, I have a podcast called Traversing the Stars Podcast on YouTube. I interview comic book writers, artists, actors, directors, screenwriters, everybody. So we'll go on that one. Just to show my own show for a second, if you don't mind, which we'll be on tomorrow. Some of our guests we've had was Lance Henriksen from the Aliens movies. We've had Thomas Jane from The Punisher. A lot of people from Star Trek. Armin
Bro,
Shimmerman, John Billingsley, Tim Russ, a lot of the cast,
holy
Rob
smokes.
Ricardo, the cast from Starfleet Academy. We did his press junket in January. So check out my show. It's awesome. You can
I'm
find me on
jealous.
Facebook under my name because it's my Facebook page. Malik has his own Facebook page that you can check, at which I'm obnoxiously posting my Kickstarter on nonstop. So I apologize, but at least for the next 2 weeks, nonstop posting for Malik. Sorry, but it's there. Instagram under Vector_comics. You're gonna find me at Traversing the Stars, Blue Sky Traversing the Stars, TikTok Traversing the Stars. X, I'm technically on X, but I don't give a shit about that anymore. I don't really go on X anymore. But basically, I'm out there and you can find me. Malik's on Kickstarter, so you can find that as well. Please find that first, though, and then find me. And I will personally thank you and put you on my thank you page, and then personally send a message of thank you. So do so.
Dude, and I'm Kevin Davis. You can find me on Instagram at I am Kevin Davis Official. Facebook, I am Kevin Davis CEO. TikTok, I am Kevin Davis CEO. Here at my podcast at Kevysie Fate Podcast. You can find it on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and my YouTube at Keviside, and also my website at keviside.com. It's spelled KEVISYDE.com. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Mr. Jeffrey Hayes, thank you so much coming on, brother. Man, let's reign devil together, guys. Let's get this book funded and just have a blast, dude. You support indie, fuck AI. Yeah, we'll see you guys next time on Kevysie Fate Podcast. And remember, back Malik Rating Devil in a link in the description on this video. Let's get it, guys. We'll catch you guys later.
Thank you.